Good evening and welcome to True Encounters. I'm your host, Marvin Allen. Well, like I said, I got a lot of encounters, and this encounter I'm getting ready to tell you all about. This is a goatman encounter, and a young lady who introduced me to this guy who gave me this encounter, was nice enough to share it with me. So I'm getting ready to share it with y'all. So without further ado, let's get into this encounter. Now, this encounter happened again in St. Mary's County. Now, this guy said that he was out doing some repairs on a deer stand. He said, so while he was up in this deer stand, he kept hearing these sticks break. Now, mind you, he said not far from one of these stands, it's like a little small creek. It's like some water down there. He said he kept hearing these sticks break. He said so he picked up his rifle and he looked through the scope and he scanned the area. At first he didn't see nothing. So he put back down the rifle and continued, to do the work that he had to do on this tree stand. He said, so he heard the sticks break again. He said, so he picked up his rifle and he looked through the scope again. He said, so as he was scanning from right to left, he saw something just move behind a tree. So he kept his scope right there in that direction. He said, and after a few seconds, he seen this thing come from behind this tree, bipedal on two legs. He said this thing had the head of a goat. He said it had horns, it had long arms with hands, and it had legs like a goat. Said this thing was gray in color. He said now while he watching this thing, he noticed that this creature had a stick in his hand. He said this thing started to walk down towards where this little stream was at. Now he watching this thing, but this thing don't see him. So he said this creature started to walk northwards on the side of this creek. He said while this thing was walking, it started to stop. And then it started to sniff. Said this thing started sniffing the air. He said then this thing turned real fast. Turned his head real fast and it looked over in his direction. He said he ducked down, thinking that this thing didn't see him. He said, but while he was down in that tree stand, all he could hear was footsteps. Do, 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 do. Like this thing was moving fast. He said, so he got up and he peeked over top of that tree stand. He said, when he looked over that tree stand, he said about 10 feet from where he was at, he saw that thing standing there, looking up at him. He said this thing showed its teeth. He said so he grabbed his rifle and he aimed it at this creature. He didn't pull the trigger. He said he pointed his rifle at this creature. He said this creature made this noise. He said he didn't know what kind of noise it was, but he said this creature made this noise. And when it made this noise, he said this creature turned around and it walked back down towards that stream, crossed over, went on the other side, and continued to walk deeper up into the woods. He said then he waited for a few minutes. He got down out of that tree stand. He left and he went back home. Now that was his encounter. It wasn't long. I just like it because I want to get some of these encounters out. Hope you enjoy that little small encounter. Let me know if I can do anything else different. Put anything else out that you would like me to say or do. And I will. So with that, I'll see you next time when I upload another video. Thank you.